city council should not take a position on matters before the voters, and they view that as political and inappropriate in such a body, as is the recent vote by the Chula Vista Planning Commission to take a position on Prop E, which will be before the voters in June. Do you believe it's appropriate or proper for city advisory bodies to take positions on political issues or ballot propositions in front of the voters? And if so or no, why?
I had actually spoke to the Planning Commission chair and requested that not be put on the dais for us to look at because it had already gone and had been approved for the ballot. But if it is concerning, and had we picked it up about 2 weeks or 3 weeks earlier before it had been approved for the ballot, I would have certainly wanted to look at it, especially as a planning commissioner, so that we could have a say on it, so that we could review it, and so that the public could be a part of that review, and the public could give us some of the answers and information that they have on the topic. But once it did hit the ballot, I had requested that we not take action on that particular item. So I'm opposed to it if it is already an item that's going to go towards the vote of the community.
Ms. Moriarty?
I think once an issue's on the ballot, no commission should take a stand. And I can only think of a couple commissions that even would really be an issue. So I wouldn't think so once it's on the ballot. But again, before it gets to the ballot, or hopefully before it even has to, people feel like they have to put it on the ballot, we would have hearings, we would bring in the community and talk about what the issues are and what the problems are, so that hopefully it gets resolved then and not on the ballot, costing everybody loads of money that could be spent in our libraries. So I would hope that we could come to a meeting of the minds before the ballot. I would always encourage discussion, but once something's on the ballot, I don't think any of the commissions should make a public statement one way or the other.
Mr. Castaneda?
The City of Chula Vista's advisory boards or planning commission, because in many instances it is not advisory, it is a decision maker. But the City of Chula Vista's appointed board are policy makers, they're not political boards. They're not elected by the people of Chula Vista to make political decisions, and it should not be their purview nor their jurisdiction to make those decisions. I'm not even in favor of the City of Chula Vista City Council making decisions with respect to positions on initiatives that deal with direct city issues. I think once it qualifies for the ballot, I think if an individual, whether it's a mayor or a city council member, wants to make their feelings known, they can do that. But I think that once it's on a ballot, the people of Chula Vista have a right to make a decision, and not to have that decision nor the consideration of that decision impeded or influenced by a political body making a political decision.
Ms. Aguilar?
It's totally inappropriate for appointed city commissions to take positions on issues that have been approved to go on the ballot. I can't think of any circumstance where that might be appropriate. The people who are on the commissions are people who are appointed by the city council. They're political appointees, and they should not take any position on any issue once it's going to go on the ballot. It should be left up to the voters.
Ms. Francis?
Well, I strongly agree, and I was very dismayed by the attempt to politicize the Planning Commission. Being a planning commissioner, I was embarrassed, and had it gone for a vote, I would have abstained on principle that it was an inappropriate politicization of the Planning Commission. I don't think it should be tolerated. I think it's a misuse of our system, and I was very, very saddened to see things deteriorate to that point that individuals would try to make use of commissions to make political points.
This next question